get to our Jesse Pierre, who is patiently waiting. And I know, Jesse, yesterday we covered a Gastonia teenager who was missing. Her parents had talked about how, she had run away before, but this time felt a little bit different. They were worried in a different way. It sounded like, a dating app was involved, a teenage dating app, that potentially she could be with people from that app. But, sidebar from that, dating apps as a whole, I have kids, and our thing in our house is, hey, we're trying not to have phones until 8th grade. It's a hard thing to battle, right? Having supervision modes on, parental modes. Sometimes you can get around that type of stuff, but it really is interesting to see that there are specific dating apps for teens. So let's just start there. I mean, were you surprised to hear that?
I was, and I spoke to the CEO of Teens for Courage, and I thought there was just dating apps, right? And so my question was like, how's a teen getting onto these apps? But she's like, no, there's a whole world of apps, and we're not just talking about social media, Instagram, and folks using social media. It's like there's literally apps for teens used to communicate, and I guess used for dating as well. The app, I did reach out to Gastonia police and I asked them which app was it, and it's called Wizz. So I asked Dr. Sherelle Carrington, what are some tips and safety things that parents should, know when it comes to, their kids and teens and so forth, using these apps to connect with other, you're hoping other young people, right? And, and the main thing is, she said, is that parents need to know who their kids are talking to. They need to be engaged with their kids so that there's a level of comfort so that, if there is an issue, if there is something going on, or if they are going somewhere, they let their parents know. She also talks about kind of just different things teens can do. One, like setting and communicating boundaries, whatever they're comfortable with emotionally, physically, and socially, sharing those boundaries with whoever the person is and making sure to stick to them. She also says that if they're using any type of site, to make sure that it's a trusted one. And how do you find that out? Well, the internet is your friend. It can be your foe, but it could also be your friend, right? And so you use that to do the research on, what is this site? And it'll tell you if it's a site that has been flagged for ABC and something that you shouldn't be on. And, you can check in with your friends too. What are you using, Um, and then again, parents knowing what apps are on the phones that your child is using and so forth. And when you do feel comfortable enough with this person, make sure you do, take the time to get to know them and messaging and so forth, making sure that they know, they are who they say they are. But also, keeping your friends in the loop, so if you are going to go out on a date, making sure that for one, that they know where you're going, right? Put a plan together. Even for me, if I was to go on a date, I tell my friend where I'm going, and I don't get into anybody else's car. I will meet you somewhere. And also meeting in a public space that's safe. There's cameras around and so forth, things that can make sure to track down where you are, if something were to happen. And then she also talked about, watching out for any signs of abuse, jealousy, threats, intimidation, any unwanted touching, aggressiveness, put downs, things like that, that are, red flags, and the main thing she said was to trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, if it feels funny, don't even put yourself in a position where it can all go wrong, where you can put yourself in danger. And, with that, have a safety plan. If something goes awry, whether it's a friend that you already have in quick contact, hey, whatever pineapple code word, something's not right. They already have your location so that we can get things in motion to get you the safety that you need. Now, when it comes to this young girl, Emma, who is missing, 17-year-old Emma Galindo, like you mentioned already, police believes that she may have been connecting with someone through the teen dating app and then, has gone missing. So, all the works are in, everything's in the works to try to find this young girl, but we don't want this to be a bad situation. And hopefully folks can learn from some of these tips and so forth so they don't, put themselves in a position where, they're in danger because of, meeting someone that just isn't right, Colin?
Absolutely. And I appreciate you simultaneously answering questions on teams. Jesse, you are such a good sport. You're one of our most talented reporters. So I appreciate you really sticking this out and being on some of the hardest stories of every single day. So thanks so much for following up. Sorry, I got to cut it short a little bit. We're getting some movement in the meeting in Alaska. So I'll leave you. I'll let you do your story. We'll see you tonight at 5 and 6. Please watch Jesse's story tonight. And hopefully it'll have a happy ending in terms of the Gastonia team being found as well. So Jesse, thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, let's